Hey,
Hey, welcome. What's up? I'm back. Man, it's the Genesee County Compassion Club show. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jeremy, your host. It's great to be back here at All Points TV. John's in the studio, of course, back behind the cameras over here, making it happen. Man, it is gorgeous out, so I don't know how long the podcast is going to last today. I got to tell you.
he's just gonna be looking. We don't have a window in the studio,
Yeah,
though.
you're lucky that we're down in no way I can see outside. I feel like I'm outside though. I should, you know what I mean? Like, but
Well, okay, this is.
I don't feel that way. You guys see it. I don't see. I'm just.
Well, okay, but you've seen the
boxed
image.
in.
But you've seen the image. That would be a major. That'd be considered
We
a
had a
major.
fan, like maybe blowing here.
Yeah.
Get my hair going.
Yeah, see, I can't get them
I'd be
this way
like,
though.
oh, yeah,
I can't get the image this way though. See, that's just it's a frozen image on the green screen. But I mean, that's a big operation.
Or like we get some plants here on the desk and we get those blowing with the wind. And
Well, we could do that if you want to bring some
go.
plants in for visuals. We could do that. You
okay.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw a pretty kick-ass plant the other day at the club. One of our caregivers brought it in. He's like, somebody was looking for a clone, and he brings this plant in, and that thing is like this big. It's in a fucking root right. Oh my gosh, it was huge, and it was all tied down. Yeah, and I asked him if it was rooted. It was in like a 10-gallon container. Anyways, hey, how's it going, guys? It's great to be back in the studio. I've got some information I'm going to share with you today, let you know what's happening down at the Compassion Club, get you up to date on everything with marijuana around the country. Man, it's been busy. It's springtime. It's April. I know everybody's getting ready for the 420 party, of course, so we're going to talk about that today. And, man, it's just good to be back. It's good to be back, John. Everybody's outside. It's just so beautiful outside. It's amazing. I want to say thank you to Mr. Eric Gunnels, who came in the studio last week and filled in for me.
That was 2 weeks ago. You were here last week.
Yeah, I mean, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Right. The weed is strong. Sorry.
Short term's gone.
You gotcha. It's just all, once it's past 5 minutes ago, it's all in the mix. Big soup bowl of memories.
That's one thing. The only thing I've actually heard about is they said it's kind of a setback because short-term memory is affected.
It does affect that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I couldn't, I'd be lying if I said otherwise. I think you can certainly, it's something you can have a control over, just moderate, everything in moderation. But this certainly can be affected, especially if you're working with new patients and you're talking about dosage and side effects and so on. It's certainly something you'd want to bring up and mention that, hey, you might experience a little bit of short-term memory loss. But
Maybe that's why pot smokers are always like so mellow in junior high because they just didn't hold on to the stuff that just happened to them around them.
Well, it's funny you say that, John. There was a study that they put out a couple years ago, and it was suggesting that cannabis, one of the reasons it was effective for PTSD treatments was because of the fact that cannabis sort of only lets the memory really capture what's actually important to that person. And so things like that are just sort of insignificant or sort of everyday mundane type of routine things, or things in PTSD case that could have been unpleasant memories of the past and so on, kind of lets those things sort of go and really just sort of holds on to the important things like what your name is and who you love. And
I know I know they research in regular medicine. Like I know that when a person suffers a horrific tragedy, like somebody was murdered in their family or something, they were totally unprepared for it. It wasn't like a prolonged illness or some immediate death. Just butchered, they're butchered or whatever. Actually, when they found out the news and stuff, and they started sedating that person to receive the news, the memory was less intense, and they actually had a better chance of dealing with it being sedated.
Yeah.
And that sounds like really counterintuitive, but
sort of like a buffering type of thing to keep that person from going into a mental shock.
Total breakdown or shutdown or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Whoa, off track there. Just went on a tangent. What was I talking about? Talking about events. We've got some events coming up here at the G3C. Definitely want to be mentioning those. Let me get my calendar pulled up here. I love technology. All right, April 18th. That's this Saturday. We got the Adopt a Highway. So 10 a.m. at the club. We need your help. We got a sign-up sheet at the snack bar. We got a sign-up sheet at the security station. There's another one over at the educational center. So big thing is we need your help. 10 a.m. Saturday, we're going to be cleaning up M13 and parts of Dort Highway. And then afterwards, we come back to the club after we're done cleaning. We have a nice big meal over at the Ed Center. The Holistic Center is going to be dishing it up, so the food's going to be awesome, And it's going to be a good thing. This is our first cleanup of 2015, so we're excited to do this. It's our good turn, our way to give back to the community, and our way to be an example of, cannabis businesses. You guys got to think about all of you right now are representatives of the cannabis industry. You guys are the entrepreneurs, you're the leaders, and the rest of the world is looking at this industry. And so it's your chance to have an impact on that. It's your chance to be an example of what businesses should be out there doing. You know, you think about how many billions Walmart makes. You know, Walmart shouldn't have a dirty street around their store for miles, and yet they just neglect that stuff. And, you know, our organization is different, and this is our chance to prove that. So this is your chance to prove that, all right? So I'll stop preaching, but at 10 a.m., we need your help this Saturday. Adopt a Highway, be there, all right? And then to celebrate, shortly thereafter, next Monday, is it next Monday? That quick? April 20th? John? Oh, I'm palpitating.
Let me check. Hold on, let me check.
My heart's
here.
jumping here. Is it that soon?
It's key. Next Monday. Yeah.
Whoa! 420. Next Monday. So you guys do the highway, and then next Monday, party. You guys get your wristbands at the club. Get them over at the Ed Center. It's $20, I believe. Let me look at my thing here. $20. Wristband. You get your ticket to come in because there's going to be food. There's going to be entertainment. There's going to be parties. There's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. All right. This is Monday, April 20th. Don't miss out. Tell your friends. Bring them on down. And we're going to have Todd the glass blower outside. We're going to have the Davison hot dog dude there. We're going to have some killer food being catered to us. We got a pig roast, full on pig coming. Straight up like farm raised organic pig. You know how we do it. It's going to be simply spectacular. All the side fixings to go with that. And then, of course, as a part of the 420 party, we've got the testing cup. We've got the photo booth. We're going to have our auction. Of course, we've got the 420 member card auction. It's always a big deal. I just saw the card today. It's flipping awesome.
What is that?
This is a special card, John. You know, every year we do this at our 420 party. And, you know, the club's got over 14,000 members. And when you get your membership, you get a member number that goes with that. It goes right on the back of your card. So everybody's got their number. And, you know, like the guys who have the old numbers, like, you know, like say somebody underneath 500, they got some bragging rights. You know what I'm saying? As compared to like somebody who just got their membership yesterday. But anyways, what we do every year is on 420, on our party, we auction off the member number 420 card. So you get to be member number 420 for the full year. And it's basically like bragging rights. So we do this every year, and I know last year it was like a battle. I think Sean and Will have been going at it here for years. I think that I've already heard about vaccine negotiations going on. So, but it's a big deal, and that's going to be going on. We also have our twist-off contest, which is going to be spectacular. We've got our fastest roll joint, most creative. And I think also I think we're doing the largest as well. That was some debate to that, so I don't want to hold anybody to it. But I know we got the fastest, and I know we've got the most creative. We've also got the cash cube coming. That's a big deal. You guys get in the cube, try to grab cash. We'll be doing drawings to see who can get in there and make some money. And then we've got also door prizes and raffles too. You know how we do it. I think last year was Easter. We did the Easter egg hunt. This year's going to be a little bit different, but it's going to be simply spectacular. And I don't think there's going to be any better place to be, quite frankly. So next Monday, April 20th, make sure you're there. Get your tickets now, and I'll see you there on Monday.
The pig roast thing,
awesome.
The pig roast alone would be worth the price for admission, man.
Dude, I heard that they're going to be bringing in farm-raised organic pig, and then when they're roasting it, they're going to take bacon and lay it on the pig. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but think about it. How do you make pork better?
Yeah, make it fat.
You put bacon on it.
Yeah, see, what you're going to have like a crash cart there, defibrillator paddles.
Right. A bacon fallout cot. Oh, he's going down. Bacon overload. We'll see. We are having our cup as well. So that's a big event that we're planning on having at 420. Definitely want to mention that. Get your entries in now so we can start testing these puppies. We got the entry forms at the security station. We need to know the name of your strain or the product it is that you're entering, your name, your member number. And I think it's $30? $30 fee entry? Yes, here we go. $30 fee entry. So if you're doing flowers, we need 2 grams. If you're doing concentrate, we need 1 gram for testing. Pretty simple. Here's the categories. We got the highest THC for flowers, highest CBD also for flowers. We've got highest THC for concentrate, highest CBD for concentrate. And then we've got best overall flower and best overall concentrate. So we'll be looking at the full gamut of things. not just the testing results, but also taste, appearance, bag appeal, aroma, all of the things that go along with selecting the best. Those things are going to be included in that as well. So 6 different categories, potential for winners out there. So don't, be afraid. Don't think your stuff isn't up to par. I mean, if you've got something that you think is, well worth it, put it in there. Don't hold back. Put it out there. You'll be surprised because, this has no favoritism. This is straight up by the numbers. And then when it comes to the best overall, it's going to be simply best overall, sort of a blind placebo. So this is going to be simply fantastic. I think it's going to be some of the best entries you've ever seen. So again, get your entries in now for that. It's $30, and then we're going to have the announcement after the twist off on the 420 party. So big deal here, big testing stuff. All right, speaking of testing, I got some testing results. This stuff is badass here. I was just introduced to it a couple weeks ago. I got to say I have not personally medicated with it yet, because I just didn't have the opportunity, but maybe we could change that. You know what I'm saying, Sapo? But anyways, my man Sapo there was cooking it up, and he's got this stuff called Moon Rocks. It's a little bit scary, and so I want to talk about it for just a minute before I get into the results, because honestly, this stuff looks like cocaine. I mean, no shit. It is straight up powdered, white, dusty stuff. I've been told you got to be careful if there's a breeze around because it'll straight up blow away. But what this is it's like a residue that's coming off from the wax that's being blown. It's being collected. And then, quite frankly, I don't want to talk too much more about it because I'm not the expert, but I know Sapo is. You can talk to him. But anyways, it's called Moon Rocks. And here's the results on this stuff, right? And again, this is something I've not seen before as a cannabis product. I mean, it looks like a powdered form. You could probably capsulate that, simply sprinkle it in a smoothie or, whatever. You could dab it, There's a lot of different things. It came up with a total of over 80% total cannabinoids, 80.88. Here's a rundown. 74.48% THC, Delta 9. CBD is 2.21. And CBN was 2.04. There's just a few of the highlights right there from the full gamut. But like I said, over 80% potency there is pretty impressive and something that I've never seen before. Maybe you guys have, I don't know, but it's pretty awesome stuff. So
now that would be, what would that be like?
Sapo, you rock.
For like medicine, what would be the best thing maybe for to use that for? I mean, or would that be up to the individual patient or?
Well, I think personally, when I look at that type of thing right there, I look at the ability there to be able to ingest that with ease because of the fact that it's extremely high concentrate. A lot of times, you're not going to take a piece of wax or hash and, just be able to pop that in your mouth. This stuff here, because it's just a powdered form, you probably could just simply sprinkle it right in your mouth. I don't know that you'd want to do that, but just to give you an example of the ability to be able to use this in a different way. And I think it really makes it a lot more, if you're not simply using it just to smoke, to dab, mind you, I think it opens itself up to being able to be used in a myriad of different ways versus just simply, where you've got wax and you're going to smoke it. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like I said, it's kind of cool to have options. You know what I mean?
Those levels, man, are amazing. I mean, I can't get over that.
Plus.
I mean, that's about what you get in a prescription drug for, the potency. What they go for, because nobody realizes, but nothing, very seldom is anything 100%. Even like your Vicodins and all that. There's a buffer. There's other.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, how much if you look at those pony pills they give you at the doctor's office for Tylenol or whatever it may be, and it says on there right there it's a 10 milligrams or 100 milligrams, whatever it is. I mean, how much do you think that little pill thing actually weighs? It probably weighs a gram, if not more.
But I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, and plus,
there's a lot more stuff there than just the medication. What I'm saying.
Well, the medication too you're talking about is actually be affected by a person's like maybe their level of use of it. Their
tolerance
level,
sure.
Their weight, mental state probably too would probably be a factor.
Metabolism is a big key player in that as well. So
there's no harm done to the liver in this kind of stuff either. It's just
absolutely not.
Okay.
So no, this is still. I mean, this is cannabis. There's not going to have any type of any other effect that you'd experience with any other cannabis product, other than the fact that you do have to take into compensation the potency there, because it is extremely potent. So you'd want to be careful you don't overdo it, being that it is in that type of form.
That'd be kind of wasted
to do, I would imagine.
That'd be kind of wasted in a medical though, wouldn't it? if you put that in a medical, I mean, it seemed like it'd be actually counterproductive
I
for what
mean,
you make that for.
honestly, John, when I look at that, I think, well, it may be easier to use in a medical form because of the fact that it's in that powdered form versus like a wax form or something that's really hard, resinous, type of material. You've got to work really hard to mix in well. This is going to mix in like powdered, like flour. I mean, it's a breeze, I would imagine. So I think right there is a big advantage to the form that it's coming in.
And so on the body taking digestion over a period of time in a medical, that would make it probably better for a longer period of time for somebody using it for that fashion.
That's true. I mean, and that's just true of any edible. Edibles are simply going to last longer than when you're smoking. Most people are going to experience 6 to 8 hours from an edible form, and for smoking, maybe only 2 to 4. So the frequency can definitely be cut down by using that too. But again, this is concentrate, so you got to watch it. We're not talking flowers here. All right. Testing. I wanted to mention one more thing about the testing unit. We just got our testing unit updated, so now we're like flying through test. So you guys bring your test in. We'll get those things busted out. I don't want to pin us down quite yet as to how fast we can get them done, but from what I'm being told, it's real fast. So, don't be afraid. Bring your test in, go over, have a smoothie, get a sandwich, and then go chill out at the club. And by the time you get all that done and you chill, your test will probably be finished. So that's pretty flippin' awesome. Nice job to Sean and Jason for getting that rocking. And hopefully we'll be putting that thing here to use for the contest here. So good stuff. All right, that's it for announcements. I don't have a whole heck of a lot more as far as events and stuff that are going on unless I'm missing something. But, quite frankly, with the 420 party, what else is there going on? I don't know. That's it, man. We got to go. We got to party. I got to party. All right. Sorry. All right, let me get some news to you guys. I got a couple things here that happened outside of the club that we can talk about. Not a whole lot happened in here in Michigan over the last week. Last week we talked about Hash Bash and so on, so it was groovy. But since then, other stuff has happened. Like I said, not here in Michigan, but one of them was out in, let me pull this up here. My computer, hello. Oregon. So you guys know that Oregon was one of the states that passed cannabis for recreational purposes here. And it looks like they've got some Oregonians, 21 years age or older, that'll be able to purchase the marijuana from regulated dispensaries after July 1st. It's being a proposal that's being considered by lawmakers. So it's kind of interesting, when they pass these laws, they're trying to not just, say, all right, well, yeah, now it's legal. Well, how do you go about making it legal? Colorado kind of had a game plan from the get-go as a part of their law. Looks like other states weren't quite as smooth in getting their program off the ground. And Oregon's an example of this. So they legalize it, but then they don't really have it set up yet as far as how to disperse it. How do you make a market out of it? It says here that they'll allow dispensaries to sell only flowers until next year. Edibles on the medical marijuana markets in Washington and Colorado are typically more potent, and they're saying it may be a potential problem for recreational consumers. So they're getting some blowback here. I mean, I think that that's one of those things that they leave the door open when you just pass a general law that says, yeah, we want it legal. And then now they're saying, well, yeah, but how is that going to be legal? And so if it isn't specified in the law, here you have this mess, like what's going on in Oregon. It says here, I got a Measure 91. It's a very well-crafted bill. Lawmakers will refine and revise. It says they aim to ensure that recreational marijuana is fairly taxed and effectively regulated and kept out of the hands of children, blah, blah, blah. And they're trying to figure out how it fits into the new industry for the past couple months. It says here in Oregon, dispensaries are regulated, marijuana production is not. So another big issue too. It's not just the dispensaries and how do you market those, how do you regulate those, but then how do you regulate the production, how do you license it, how do you monitor it, so on and so forth. All big questions. So I don't know. To me, I think when you just go past a law that says, yeah, we want it legal, and then you don't say how that's going to happen, I think that's kind of foolish. You know what I mean? All right, let me get to another story here for you. This is out of Washington. Washington legislature on Tuesday approved an overhaul of the state's medical marijuana market. It's a bill that seeks to eliminate unregulated dispensary sales now that the state's recreational market is in place. So says they voted 41-8 to pass it out of the chamber onto the governor for their expected signature. And after the vote, the sponsors said the state could no longer wait to reconcile the medical and recreational markets. It says the reality is that we have a thriving illicit market from Republican Senator Ann Rivers, and it's essential that we shut it down. That's what she's saying. It's essential that our patients had a clean and adequate supply, so at least she's looking out for that. It says it create a database of patients. Changes made in the House, including making voluntary the patient registry that was mandatory under the original Senate version. However, unregistered patients wouldn't be allowed to possess the same amounts of marijuana or enjoy similar tax breaks that registered patients would. Under the measure, patients who entered into the database hold an authorization card and be allowed to possess 3 times as much marijuana as is allowed under the recreational law. 3 ounces dry, 48 ounces of infused solids, 216 ounces of liquid, or 21 grams, and 21 grams of concentrates. Patients could also grow up to 6 plants at home unless authorized to receive more by a health professional. So, if you don't have a card, basically, and you're not registered, then it's recreational. Okay, so, and then if you are a patient in Oregon, you can in Washington, you voluntarily register with the state, and then the state gives you a state recognized medical marijuana patient card. If you've got that, under this bill, you can continue to receive tax breaks, and you can continue to have the allowed amount for a medicinal patient. So it's just basically a difference in this, markets. I mean, what they're really trying to do is put a cap on the taxes. You know what I mean? They're trying to make it more difficult for people to skirt around not paying taxes, saying, "Hey, I'm medical. Here's my doctor's slip. Do you have a state card? No. But here's my doctor's slip. Okay, so you don't have to pay tax." That's what's going on right now. And what they want to do is they want to make it more difficult. They want to have a state identified card, make it mandatory so that, okay, if I'm a patient, now I have to have this card to say that I'm a patient, kind of like we do here in Michigan. And then they could use that to receive the tax breaks. So, and to us here in Michigan, it's not a big deal because our program is mandatory. You got to get a state card. Out in Washington, that wasn't the case. So you had dispensaries, collectives out there, and in order to access those, all you had to have was a doctor's recommendation. So basically a letter from your doctor. And if you wanted to get a state card, you could get one. So basically we're trying to address that, trying to change that. And I think personally it's interesting to look at these different forms of this decriminalization process that cannabis is going through. I mean, eventually, it's going to be something different in the future. And as states continue to make these progressions, it's interesting to see the differences in how they make those progressions. So, I mean, can you imagine here in Michigan if a doctor's note was okay? That's all you had to go get. And I know a lot of people thought at first that's all you had to go get. But then we had this case in the, I think it was in the appeals court, that said, no, you need to have the card in order to receive full protection of the law. You could still actually potentially be protected by Section 8. It's going to be a lot more difficult in court to do that if you don't have the card. But at any rate, interesting comparisons. All right, let's see what else I can pull up here for you. Man, I tell you, it's hard to concentrate when it's like 65 degrees out and sunny. You know what I'm saying? John, you've been getting out in the neighborhood. Is there anything good going on in Flint? And does anybody celebrate Earth Week around here? Isn't there an Earth Week coming up pretty soon?
Well, I see we're seeing more and more open Earth because they're tearing down more and more buildings. I guess that's the only way they're celebrating it here. But no, I think I've been outside a lot. The past couple of days, it just past yesterday I was out there like 4 hours. It was really nice and just outside, breaking up the yard, stuff like that.
It is that time of year.
Yeah. Just hope they pick up the debris like they said they're going to.
Right.
You put it in paper bags and you wait for it to them to come and get it, and then it rains, and then you got to try to move it back inside.
It goes like a soggy mess.
It falls apart. They got to put it in new bags.
Shred it.
I guess that's maybe they're getting a kickback from the bag sales. I don't know.
Right. All right, real quick. You guys been talking about presidential candidates. Been hearing about it in the news. We had Rand Paul, mentioned that last week. This guy who stepped up, said he wants to run. We've got Hillary Clinton, obviously. She's jumping on the bandwagon. Here's this other guy, Chris Christie. Another person. Now, I don't think, has Chris Christie said he's going to run for president? Because I don't think he has yet.
Not yet. Marco Rubio has announced that he's going to run.
Oh,
has intention. Yeah, Marco Rubio.
He's probably the most recent one then. But at any rate, if this Chris Christie guy runs, you guys need to be heads up about this. He's obviously a big party favorite of the Republicans. So who knows if him or Jeb will get the nod. But at any rate, this dude says first thing he's going to do, or at least one of the things he's going to do, is crack down on weed. So probably not the guy we want to vote for. Whether or not you're Republican, I could really care less. I think that's whatever. But at any rate, this guy here, if you're a cannabis fan, he is not your friend. This dude is right-wing, solid. And
actually, he's not even right wing. He's got issues there too. I mean, he's not. Lot of those hardcore Republicans have issues with Christie too.
And I know they play that game. I hate that whole conversation, quite frankly. About who's right wing, who's conservative, whatever. I think they're all puppet douches.
Well,
but at any rate,
they're sociopaths.
First thing he says is, "I will crack down and not permit legal marijuana as president." He announced this on the Hugh Hewitt show. And he would crack down on states that have ended prohibitions. He said absolutely he would not permit it.
Okay, so that's counterproductive already in the state of Michigan, with 65% of the people already voted back when this initiative started.
This guy here has got the brains of a monkey. I mean, good grief. If you think prohibition works, you need to pull your head out of your ass.
He's also pro-gun control, too, so he's not on the right. So
yeah, well, at any rate, I just want to make sure our viewing party is aware of it, at least aware of what he says. You can make your own decisions on whatever, and obviously presidential race isn't for a while, but I always like to let people know what's going on so you are aware. All right. If I hear you talking in the club about how cool this guy is, we're probably going to slap you. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know anybody who likes him. Not here. I mean, maybe New Jersey or someplace, but I don't know anybody locally that's
Well, I can tell you, patients in New Jersey probably can't stand this fella because the New Jersey medical marijuana program is an absolute mess. They've had it approved for going on 4 years now, and the patients out there still don't have medication. So, whatever. He's no fan of ours. Anyways, whatever. Those guys are all puppets. Hey, you guys, I appreciate you being with me here this week. It is fantastic to be in the studio. Great to bring you guys the news. Make sure you have lots of fun this weekend. Please show up for the Adopt a Highway. We really do need lots of hands, lots of help. The more, the merrier, believe me. And then, of course, come out on Monday. It's going to be an awesome party. We'd love to see you there. It's going to be a great celebration of freedom and a lot of fun, of course. So, thanks for being with me, guys. This is Genesee County Compassion Club show. John, thanks for being with me in the studio, man, making it happen. You guys get out there and get some sunshine, all right? We'll see you next week. Bye.